Hey everyone, it's Danielle Taylor with Keller Williams Realty here on the beautiful Outer Banks, and today we're talking condos.
We know you want a condo, so let's check out the condo.
Condos can be a really great option for people that are looking for ease of living, maintenance-free or less maintenance, not really maintenance-free, but less maintenance, ease of management. But before we commit to a condo, it's really important that we understand how the HOA functions. The HOA for your condo doesn't just set the rules. It also controls the building, your expenses, and in a lot of ways, your ability to sell. So we need to know exactly what to ask when we're evaluating a condo. So let's dive in.
We know you want a condo.
So we want to understand, are rentals allowed? Is there a minimum lease length? And does that lease length prohibit or allow short-term rentals? That can be really important, especially in our market. We want to understand, are there any limits on pets? Types of pets, number of pets, no pets at all. There are condos down here and associations that don't allow dogs at all. So that could be really important to you. We also want to understand if there's any rules surrounding maybe how you could use your balcony, or can you make any changes on the exterior? All of that's really, really important. And remember, those HOA rules are legally binding. So reviewing those documents carefully for what we're allowed to do and not do is really important up front, especially if you plan to rent or have a pet on the property. The second thing we want to understand are the dues and how much the dues are and how they're billed and what they cover. We want to understand, do they include what insurances? Do they include exterior maintenance? Do they include water? That's very common. What amenities do they include? Some of our condo associations down here also include cable and internet. So is that included as well? That can help understand the value of those condo dues. We want to understand, how are they billed? Are they billed monthly or quarterly? That can be a big planning thing for you as a homeowner. We want to really get a sense of the pattern. So how are those dues increasing? Have they increased recently? Is there a pattern? Are increases expected? Higher dues aren't necessarily a bad thing, but unexplained high dues and unexplained increases on a regular basis could be a red flag for that HOA. So we really want to dive in and know that. The next thing we want to understand is the financial health of that condo association, because remember, now you're tied to the financial health of that condo association. So one of the biggest things we need to do is look at their reserve fund. How healthy is their reserve fund? Have they maybe done a recent reserve fund survey, which could give us a lot of really important insights? Are owners behind on their dues, and how many owners? That could generate an idea of what the health of the HOA is. We really want to understand, are there any proposed or confirmed special assessments? So those special assessments are amounts that are billed directly to homeowners over and above your HOA dues. So we need to know if there's anything expected. We also want to know, what are the age of the major components of the building? Things like the roof, the siding, the decks, exterior paint. Those can be big ticket items that we want to understand when they were last addressed, so we can make an estimated guess or an educated guess about when that might come up as an expense again. Condos with weak reserve funds often lead to large and unexpected assessments, sometimes even into the tens of thousands of dollars per owner. So we need to really dive into that and know where things stand. The next thing we want to understand is who's responsible for what. So this is where condo ownership can really differ from a house. If the HOA covers roof, siding, windows, balconies, elevators, those kinds of things, you know that you're not going to be on the hook for that. That's why knowing the age that we just talked about is really important. We want to know what maintenance the unit owner is responsible for. Sometimes the unit owner is responsible for windows, doors, and decks. If that's the case, we need to know that up front. We need to know who handles plumbing and electrical. Are you owning walls in, or are you responsible for that? So knowing where your responsibility starts and ends really prevents expensive surprises. Next thing, insurance and building coverage. So we want to understand, does the HOA have a master insurance policy? Is it bare walls or is it walls in coverage? We need to know what that means, and we need to investigate that. And what coverage do you as the owner need to have on your own? So is there a whole building policy and you're just looking at an HO6 inside unit policy? That can affect your expenses. So we need to understand that. We want to really dive into that so we can ensure that we avoid any coverage gaps or paying twice for the same protection, okay? The next thing is we really want to understand legal issues and lender approval. So this directly affects financing and resale. So we need to know, is the HOA involved in any lawsuits? The next thing is, we want to know if the HOA meets lender requirements. So this is often called a condo being warrantable. If you hear that term, warrantable, what that basically means is that that condo has passed a series of tests that will allow a lender to sell that loan to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, which is important for you, usually getting the best rates and the best options from a lender perspective. Any other condo red flags? Because that's why we're doing this analysis. We're looking to see if there's any red flags that would make us maybe choose a different building. So the biggest red flags that we're looking for are low reserve funds, okay, because that can lead to assessments. Frequent and high special assessments, that could point to mismanagement. Deferred maintenance, are there a lot of big ticket items that have not been addressed? Ongoing litigation, that can be a big deal because that litigation has to be paid for by somebody. And rapidly rising dues, that's another big red flag. In condos, these types of things can tend to hit harder and faster than in single family homes, so knowing that up front is important. So ultimately, condos can still be a great opportunity. You just need to make sure that you're with the right partner, ask the right questions up front, protect yourself, and protect your investment. So as always, if you found this helpful and you liked it, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything else. And drop us your condo questions in the comments and we'll get those answered for you. So I hope you have a great day. Can't wait to see you again soon. And remember, there's no better living than Sandbar living.